Hello everybody, it's the Fat Boy and welcome back to another F1 2021 My Team Career Mode episode. And to start things off, oh look at this, we have a retirement announcement. The Alpine Master Fernando Alonso is going to be retiring from the sport, so probably by the end of this season. And taking a look at the R&D chart, we fell back by one position I think, and we are improving a bit, but I'm not sure why they are not displaying the completed upgrades. I'm not sure if that's a bug or not. And if you caught that, we do have a free upgrade for 0 R&D points for the ICE. And I apologize if this went pretty straightforward, but if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe in order not to miss any F1 videos or FIFA videos in the future. And pretty much that's just it for the introduction, and we can head into qualifying soon. And I've decided to do a major energy recovery system upgrade just to probably increase the power or something. And we are gonna do this on the 95 AI here in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. As now we head towards the track for qualifying. It's gonna be dry weather, but it is gonna be a bit cloudy, so there's gonna be a bit of a lack of grip. But at least there's less overheating, so probably around Maggots and Beckett's, probably we might suffer a lot of oversteer. And take a look at the suit. We are gonna be using a one-off livery for today's race, which is gonna be the Arava TV livery. For those who don't know who Arava is, he is one of the most popular, if not the most popular, YouTuber in the F1 community. As we get a bit of a tank slapper there. And with DRS open, we're heading down the main straight into Stowe. So as I was saying about this Arava YouTuber, we are gonna be using his livery that has been added into Series 4, I believe it is right now, in the Series 4 podium pass. So we're gonna see this once, and that's it. Just this one race to push as much as possible to make this livery switch worthwhile. And hopefully we can get a higher result than expected, as we get a 1 minute 27.7, as we get quite a bit of oversteer there heading into the second lap. And that's the second lap over for us. But I don't really mind because we had half a lap of fuel inside the tank, so we can't go a full lap possibly. As now we head into the second lap, we are heading into Cops Corner, just on the line there of the track limits, as we are heading into Maggots and Beckett's, the corner where I might suffer quite a bit of understeer, as well as we now head into the hangar straight with DRS open. There's the rear wing open, as we're getting quite a bit of time because we didn't went on the grass at the point of time where I was talking about the livery. As we now head into Stowe, and we took quite a bit of a late apex, as we now get quite a lot of time gain, as we're on 7.5 tenths up, or now 8 tenths up, almost 8 tenths up. No, but we did get quite a bit of a bad exit, and that's only gonna be P15 still, just less than 1.5 tenths away from Lance Stroll. So that's gonna be P15 for qualifying one. But at least we didn't go out like Robert Schwartzman, who was 4 tenths slower than me, so he's gonna be starting P18 for DPB Motorsport. And pretty much that's just it for Q1, as we now head into Q2 right around now for our lap here. And I do have to indicate that I might have to change one of the engine parts, which is the energy store, because if you look at the speedometer, the capacity is only 84% maximum, mainly because it's 66% worn, and it's only 6 races heading into season 2 here of my team career mode. So the reliability is not as good as compared to other teams. As we now start the lap, now heading into turn 1, we turn in flat out at Abbey. We do go off the track, but we are playing on regular corner cutting conditions, as we brake just before the 50-meter board heading into turn 2. Now heading into turn 3, I choose to miss the apex by a little bit, because if you hit the apex there, you are gonna get very tight on the exit, as we now have DRS open heading into the Wellington straight, now heading into Brooklands, braking at the 50-meter board, and I chose to take a late apex, carrying more speed, as we are just below 3 tenths behind Esteban Ocon, which is actually not bad, because considering our position in the R&D chart, that's actually not bad, because we actually can fight the second Alpine driver as we now set ourselves up for Cops Corner. We do miss the apex a little bit, but at least we carried a bit more speed. as we now head towards Maggots and Beckett's. We have to take the Apexes if not we're going to lose quite a lot of time. Now heading into Chapel as we do get quite a bit of understairs, head into the grass and we just can't control the power and we are going to spin and hit the wall. And that's qualifying over for us as our rear left tire is out of its original position, so we have to retire from there. So power delivery is a bit inconsistent, I would say. And take a look at that, the suit that we're going to use, the one-off livery, the one-off suit, but the gloves are still there, I have to say. But anyway, back to the story, like heading into Chapel at the final back straight, you really have to be really really careful about the power application, mainly because if you have too little power, you will suffer a loss of straight line speed, whereas if you have too much power you can get understeered and head into the grass at the exit. So we are going to be last, considering Q2 results, and we are still going to have to take a penalty because I decided to change the energy store, mainly because I don't want to have a disadvantage based on ERS. And that's it for qualifying. We'll just see you on the grid on race day, and I'll see you probably just a few minutes later.
We return once again then to the home of British motorsport and the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone and it's time for the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, and Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, Ocon, Perez, Lance Stroll and Giovinazzi, Tigtum, Robert Schwartzman and George Russell, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin and the Black Mamba. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
And aim for another top 10 finish we shall, as we are going to go for 7 laps on the soft compound tires and finishing the last 6 laps on the medium compound tires, as we are going to fill our car up with 13 laps of fuel for 13 laps around Silverstone circuit. And I have no idea why, but I just kept spamming the select button to really just make sure and double check that I am on the correct strategy. As now here come the 5 red lights for the Silverstone Grand Prix, and we had a 22 place grid penalty, as now it's lights out and away we go. Verstappen getting quite a bit of a good start off the line. Bottas gets a very bad start, and Lando Norris, I think he's trying to battle for P3, I assume, but he's done in P5. Is now shift our focus to ourselves. We now go for a dive bomb heading into turn 2. Now P16, and we are making it 3 wide with Guan Yu Zhou and who is this guy? Antonio Giovinazzi is now side by side a teammate, and we get quite a bit of oversteer, or should I say wheel spin, because we enabled our ERS a bit too early, so that jolt of power, I guess I could say somewhat shocked the car. As we now head into Brooklands, Joe and Giovinazzi are going side by side. Now heading into the open straight, Giovinazzi getting mugged off by the Chinese driver, making his debut more than a month later in Bahrain. As we now head into Cops Corner, as we go off the track again, it's really hard to maintain speed and stay on the track limit for a tight corner like Cops. As we now head into Maggots and Beckett's, we are still trying to catch up to Antonio Giovinazzi, but we do miss the apex a little bit. No, actually we don't. Just a little bit, but we do hit the grass, so it really doesn't matter, because I guess we do get a bit of dirty air from the Alfa Romeo as we now head into Stowe. This is a new camera angle that I want to use as you now head into the Val chicane. Now I know what the this left-right chicane is called as we now set ourselves for the final corner and heading into the second lap of this race. And we do fast forward heading into the lap 2 here at the old pit straight. As we now try to go into cops a bit with a bit more throttle this time, and we do stay on the track limit a little bit more than the previous lap. As we now head into Maggots and Beckett's braking for the apexes, and we do get quite a bit of understeer heading into the hanger straight as you do hit the grass a bit. I think Cody's have to make the exit curb at Chapel a bit more longer so that we don't hit the grass there. And again, the footage just compressed by itself, and Giovinazzi is also getting pressured from me as we now try to go for a dive bomb, or should I say overtake around the outside, which becomes the inside line, and things get a bit argy-bargy between the both of us, and we do go up to P15 in this race as we now head into turn 1. We managed to get past the Italian, and now we can set our focus onto the two Aston Martin drivers who are not that far ahead. As we now set ourselves up for the Wellington Straight, but that is all not important as we now fast forward more than a lap later heading into lap 4. Joe getting quite close to who is this guy? Lance Stroll. As we do get quite a bit of understeer and we go off the track, but at least we do have DRS. As Joe is getting also close to Lance Stroll, is going to get quite a lot of dirty air heading into Stowe. And we are gaining and gaining and gaining for the exit here, heading into the Val chicane. As we now go for a kamikaze dive bomb down the inside of Guan Yu Zhou. And he does have a chipped front wing over there at the left end plate. But we do make the move. And we are now up to P14. So one Aston Martin down, one Aston Martin to go. As we now try to catch up to Lance Stroll by outbraking him, I would say now heading into turn 3. Again missing the apex just a little bit, but this time, as you can see, you see how the exit tightens up. That's why I took the apex a little bit less, I would say. As we now try to go for a dive bomb down the inside, but I couldn't, mainly because we went out of track, and Brooklands is quite a tight corner. And now we are heading into Luffield, past the apex now, trying to get on the throttle as early as possible. That's why I went a bit wide there. Not only that, but I also want to avoid the dirty air heading into the old pit straight. Now heading into Cops Corner, I decided to go for an overtake, by last minute decided to change my decision. Mainly because I did not want to replicate Silverstone 2021. And I'm not saying that to like stir up any arguments between the Hamilton and Verstappen fans. Mainly because I'm just saying that because it's just like fact, you know. I don't want a replica of it. Just trying to avoid the incident as much as possible. As we now try to go down the inside of the Canadian, now heading into what you call Stowe, and it's not good for Aston Martin, especially this being their home race. And Stroll could have gone for the dive bomb down the inside, like how it did to his teammate Guan Yu Zhou back in lap 4, if I'm not wrong, or lap 3, I think. And we fast forward again, heading into lap 7. The front right, as you can see on the bottom right, is a bit overheated as we now heading into the old pit straight again. How many times have I said old pit straight in a minute? Old pit straight, old pit straight, old pit straight. No, screw that. As we now head into Cops Corner, we actually get onto the limit, like for the first time actually, I think this season. Now we head into the Chapel corner as we now get quite a bit of oversteer, and we get quite a bit of wheel spin, and we almost crash into Lance Stroll, and we do get quite a bit of damage to the floor, and we have to get back on the throttle as much as possible, and we do get quite a bit of wheel spin, and we hit Daniel Tictum. Oh, and surely the full course safety car is out, and it's out. Oh, I was rapping there. I think I was rapping over there. Oh, we're P20. We're down into P20, and I do think we have damage to the floor, which is not good because we are gonna get quite a bit of drag to the car. And I didn't know how I didn't get like a puncture or anything as we now head into the pit lane. And I have no idea why Robert Schwartzman. If you caught that on the top left, he was down by a lap. I think that's a major bug problem or something. As we're now under the podium, now heading into the what you call the pit lane, heading for a pit box, and I just realized that I have to double stack. But I'm more important because Schwartzman is quote unquote one lap down, So he's just gonna have to wait because I have the better chance of making places and getting points if there's any like a miracle or anything. And we do get a 6.8 second pit stop, which is actually quite fast in my opinion. And we almost damaged the front wing once again, just a little then. But fortunately, we did not get any damage at all. So let's just look at the replay here, back in lap 7. So back in here, lap 7 on the replay here, we got quite a bit of understeer there, and we just basically just almost hits Lance Stroll there, and he's just fortunate not to get hit by me. And I wanted to get onto the throttle as fast as possible to continue the race, and unfortunately, we caught Daniel Ticktum, and our front wings are completely shattered there. So it's a bit unfortunate for our former teammate. But as you see from the onboard, like when he came out into the final back straight, everything already happened, and this was completely an accident. I really thought that the RPMs were, well, I guess high enough so that I can go flat out just like that, just stomp on the pedal. But apparently the RPMs were a bit too low. So pretty much all of that pretty much just happened as now towards the end of the safety car. And it's green flags as soon as the person on first goes to pass the finish line. And it is green flag as you now continue the race with 3 laps of racing. 3 laps of racing. As you know, quite a bit of oversteer there. I mean wheel spin. I can't differentiate between those two. As you know, head into turn 1 flat out, completely flat out. And we just have to make as many places as possible. And that's Robert Schwartzman behind us here, and he has to unlap himself. But apparently, I guess it's too late for him to do so, as we're now just trying to get past Nikita Mazepin as soon as possible before we try to get past the other cars. And Schwartzman is a bit slow. I'm not sure why. I think his focus is quite low. So now heading into Brooklands, the corner is just never ending. You just have to know when the right time is to apply the throttle. And apparently at the time when I applied the throttle, it was a bit too late as you now head into Cops Corner. Nikita Mazepin, how would I say, is a bit behind. I expected him to be like ahead of Ticktum by now, but apparently he wasn't. But it just depends when that incident happened, as you now try to go side by side with the Russian driver, trying to go around the outside heading into Stowe, and he has to yield that position because it's not worth it for him, as you now go off the track heading into the exit, now into the Val chicane, and Ticktum is getting held up. He's having quite a bad weekend with the Alfa Romeo team heading into Silverstone, and there's a couple of people in the pits. Alonso is in the pits, Tsunoda is in the pits, Carlos Sainz in the pits, Perez is also in the pits as well. So I think Alonso was leading the race, mainly because he was the first one to enter the pit box, if I'm not wrong. So 1 lap of racing, or should I say 2 laps of racing on the new tires for those 4 drivers that I just took down, or I guess just named down. As you're now trying to get close to Daniel Ticktum, we are 3/10 behind him as we now head into Brooklands. He's getting quite a bit of dirty air from the rear wing of Mick Schumacher, and I'm just trying to set myself up for the perfect exit heading into Cops Corner. Down the old pit straight, as we now try to get as close to Daniel Ticktum as soon as possible, and we actually could go around the outside, and we almost hit him again. We almost had damage, and this could have been our second incident with the Alfa Romeo man, but apparently we managed to not collide into him miraculously. So that's a huge miracle, and thankfully we only collided with him once, because 1 collision is always better than 2. As we go for the dummy on Mick Schumacher, and we go down the inside heading into Stowe, and we have to stay on the inside line, or should I say the outside line now, because Schumacher was there on the outside at the exit of Stowe. But now he isn't, as we now head into the final corner. And we are only P14, and we only have 1 lap of DRS, which is on the final lap. I am going to show you the final lap, as we now actually this time stay on the limit, but we do miss the curb a little bit as we now head into turn 2, now heading into turn 3. This time this was a very good exit there, because we took a late apex. I think the best possible exit at turn 3 is taking a late apex, and we do miss out on DRS by a couple of hundredths per second. As we now head into Brooklands. We are starting to close up to Nicholas Latifi by a little bit, as we are now 8 tenths away from the Canadian. Now 7.5 tenths, as you can see in the time interval on the left side. As we now head into Cobb's Corner, we're just trying to catch up to him as fast as possible. And the 5 remaining cars at the back are having a bad weekend. But Max Verstappen is going to have the best weekend possible, as he now has to drive that Red Bull into the final 4 corners on the last lap, now heading into the Val chicane. As you can see, the number 33 now using the number 1, heading to the final corner as Max Verstappen takes the checker flag for this race.
Mate, that was just perfect. Nothing more to say than that. Yeah, unbelievable. And the car was on fire today. So nice to drive. Unbelievable. Thank you very much. That was absolutely clinical, Max.
Oh, that's such a good win for Max Verstappen, as you now have to make one final overtake on Nicholas Latifi. That's what I'm aiming for as you now head towards the end of the hangar straight, as Latifi's red light is flashing, meaning he is below 10% ERS. He's now trying to go around the outside, heading into the exit of Stowe, now heading into the Val chicane. Latifi is trying to go for a dive bomb down the inside of me. Now heading into the final 2 right-handers, as we now side by side with Nicholas Latifi still, and we managed to get 13th place from him.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
This has to be one of the most, if not the most exciting race of this calendar. Or shall I say of this race. And Giovinazzi gets points as well, so that's good for Alfa Romeo. But I wouldn't say the same for the last 5 drivers. And we are still at the same positioning of the driver standings. I think we're still at 11th place. Yes, we are. And constructor standings, we are still 7th, I think. And if you enjoyed this video, again, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications in order not to miss any future uploads. I'm the Fat Boy. Have a good day after watching this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.